In this video, I'm going to be reviewing eSIM.me, a physical SIM card that will allow you to add eSIM capability to an Android phone that doesn't have eSIM. So eSIM.me is basically a physical SIM card that has eSIM capability. So if you have an Android phone, an old Android phone that doesn't have eSIM built in, you can now use a physical SIM card that has eSIM built into it. And this is what the packaging looked like once you get it from eSIM.me. It looks like a SIM card that you would get from a regular carrier. And all you do is you just insert that SIM card into your Android phone, and now you're going to be able to use eSIM. For my testing, I'll be using my Motorola One 5G Ace, and I'll be using their single eSIM that holds up to 2 eSIM profiles. And also, this does not work on an iPhone. You'll need an unlocked Android phone. So just a little disclaimer, eSIM.me did send me this physical SIM card for free, but all my thoughts and opinions are basically going to be based on my own experience using this SIM card. So let's talk about the setup process. So the first thing you got to do is you want to download the eSIM.me app from the Google Play Store to make sure that your phone does work with this SIM card. In my case, it does say that it works, and all I do is I just set up an account with eSIM.me. And once you set up your account, you're going to be able to start adding eSIM profiles. So the first eSIM profile I'm going to install is from Airalo. And all I did was I purchased it from a separate phone and I scanned the QR code. I tap on download. And this is the part where you do have to wait a little bit for the download to be completed. I'm just speeding up the clips right now, but it did take a few minutes for it to completely download and then to install it into my Android phone via the eSIM.me app. Once the Airalo profile eSIM has been added to eSIM.me, you're just going to go through the setup process where you're naming the eSIM. You're going to select whether it's data or data and voice, and then you select the amount of gigabytes you purchase and also the days where the eSIM is valid. And after you do all the setup process, you'll see it in the main page on the app. Once it was there, I just select enabled and I was able to use the Airalo eSIM after I added the APN, but that's more of an Airalo issue. And then I just ran a speed test to make sure that it works. And here are the speed test results. So I also wanted to try adding a prepaid carrier that has voice and data as well. So I am using Tello, and Tello offer eSIM. So once I purchased the plan, I was able to scan the QR code from my accounts and add the Tello service via eSIM. And same process, you just scan the QR code, you wait for eSIM.me to add that profile into your phone. And again, this process does take a while for it to complete. Once it finished downloading, you're going to see it in eSIM.me, and you're going to go through the same process, filling out the information of that eSIM card. But once that's done, you're going to be able to enable it. Now you also notice that I disable Airalo's eSIM profile, so that way I could run a speed test with my Tello eSIM profile. And here are the speed results. I also tested out calling and texting just to make sure that the eSIM is actually working. And here are the results. Hello? 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 So now let's talk about some of the limitations and technical issues that I encounter. So the first issue that I encountered was when I was trying to disable a profile and then try to re-enable another one. It kind of stalls, and sometimes I had to restart the eSIM.me application. But I was able to find a fix. They did have a FAQ on their website. Basically, I just had to do something in the settings and disable one of the functionalities. I also had to reboot the phone or even remove the SIM card every time I want to switch to a different eSIM profile. And again, they document this in their FAQ, and I also noticed it as well, and I took a footage of this. So when I turn off my Airalo eSIM profile and then enable my Telo eSIM profile, and then when I swipe down, it's still going to show my Airalo eSIM. So what I had to do was I just removed the SIM card and then put it back in, so that way the changes will be taking effect and then it'll switch to my Telo eSIM. Also, you can't have more than one eSIM profile active at the same time. You can store a few of them, but you can only have one active one. However, you technically can have two active eSIM profiles if your phone has dual SIM capability. In my case, my Motorola phone doesn't have dual SIM. It only has one SIM slot, so I won't be able to have two active eSIMs. But if you have an Android phone with two physical SIM slots, all you need to do is you're just going to need to buy two eSIM.me SIM cards, and then you'll be able to have two active eSIM profiles. Same thing as well, if you have an Android phone with one built-in eSIM and you have a free physical SIM slot, you can just buy one eSIM.me SIM card and put it in that physical SIM slot to have dual SIM capability. But there's also known issues. One in particular is that eSIM profiles from Olafly doesn't work. So it looks like some eSIM might not work, so your miles may vary. But I highly recommend you check out this FAQ on their website. So now let's talk about the pricing for their eSIM cards. Now they have three different types. There's a single, multi, and omni. The single one can be used on one Android device on a single brand. The multi-SIM card is where you can use it on multiple devices of the same brand. So for example, if you have like 3 Motorola phones, you could use the multi one. Now the omni one is where you could basically use it on any Android device, any manufacturer. And the pricing starts around $26.16. And depending how much profiles you want to be able to store, the prices might increase. So for example, the multi one, you could go up to 10, and then the single one, you could go up to 5. And then the omni one has up to like 15 eSIMs that you could store. On the single or multi SIM card, if you want to transfer it to a different device or a different brand, you will have to pay a license transfer fee. If you are interested in trying out eSIM.me, I'll have my affiliate link in the description, and I'll also have a 10% discount code that you can use for your purchase. The affiliate link is commission based, so if you make a purchase on their website, I do get a small percentage, which helps the channel. So for the most part, my experience with eSIM.me has been mostly positive, even though it did ran into some issues, but because they have a good FAQ and also listed out the known issues, I was able to kind of troubleshoot it on my own. Even with those issues, just the concept of you being able to add eSIM capability to an existing Android phone without having to buying a new phone, it's a pretty good way to get that functionality. I think those that will benefit from this eSIM.me card are users that have a dual physical SIM Android phone, because they'll be able to have dual SIM capability. But I want to know, what are your thoughts on eSIM.me? Have you ever tried it? What are your thoughts on a physical SIM card that has eSIM capabilities? Leave your comments below. If you want to check out some of my reviews of some travel eSIM data plans, you can check out those videos right here.